What's going on, guys? It's Will back with another video. This time going into NBA. Usually PrizePicks doesn't post a lot of props for the next day, the night before, but because Tuesday there are no games, Wednesday there's a lot of teams in action. We do have a good amount, still missing a lot of players, but gonna work with what we do have on the board right now. Gonna be giving 4 props. 2 of them are kind of leans, but the first one, the core play for this video, still sticking to that same format. I do really like this play. So if you guys are new to DFS Army, new to PrizePicks, if you want to sign up, there is a free offer that will give you actually a free VIP membership to DFS Army, which is a $7 value. You can find more info on our website. It's a free offer. You can use that for PrizePicks or Underdog. There's also other websites that we do offer that free month of VIP membership for. So if you're new to these sites, go ahead, check it out. $70 value for free. Now, getting into the picks. The first one, the core pick, it is going to be DeRozan at 22.5 points. Taking the over for DeRozan here. More. So the Bulls, they've played the Raptors twice in a row. And because of how the Raptors play, I should pull that up. So 20 points and 9. I'm really not a fan of this last 5 chart, but I know a lot of people do like to click on it because it's just so easy. It's right there. But Toronto, they doubled DeRozan every single time. And that's why we saw him take single-digit shot attempts both games. And DeRozan, this guy is just too good to be at this number. The Pelicans, they are not a good defensive team. DeRozan, even with Zach LaVine probably playing, and Vooch, DeRozan is the main guy. He averaged like 27 points last season. And DeRozan, just this matchup is a 229.5 total. So it's going to be high scoring. It's only 1 point spread. It's going to be a close game, meaning there's not going to be a blowout concern associated with him. And I do not expect any team to play defense like the Raptors do. The Pelicans, they're far from a good defensive team. Herb Jones probably going to be defending him, but that also means they're not going to be using a second guy to double DeRozan, in which DeRozan's going to be able to take advantage. He gets the foul line a ton, so there's a lot of points that he will get from the free throw line. And again, this line, it's just too low. It opened at 22.5, juiced on the over. It's moved to 23.5 now on pretty much every book. So everyone does like the over because we really don't see DeRozan this low. So absolutely love this play. And looking at DVP, so the Pelicans, again, small forwards, they have allowed the most points so far this season. So just another indicator of how good this matchup is, the game environment, everything. It just sets up really well for DeRozan. Very good bounce back game for him for this one. Now, getting into the next pick, it's actually going to be on the other side, rebounds and assists. Zion Williamson taking the under less for him. So at 11.5, Zion, he really isn't an assist guy. I know he got 7 assists last game, but you can actually take a look on NBA.com. You can click on the specific stat type, look at every single play, how they recorded that stat. And I went back and looked at all 7 of his assists. He basically made a simple pass, and the guy who caught it shot it and made it. I know that's how assists work, but there was no actually playmaking going on. He wasn't driving, creating, hitting the cutter or anything like that. It was just guys that made a shot, and they were heavily contested shots. Zion, he got pretty lucky. Like a lot of them actually were deep in the clock, so it's like the guy who caught the pass had to just shoot it, and they just made him. So it's a really weird situation for Zion. Like 7 assists, that is an outlier game, especially when they have Brandon Ingram back, CJ McCollum. Those 2 are their main playmakers. They're going to be getting the most assists. And Zion, he's just not an assist guy. You can definitely give him, like 2, 3. That's not crazy. You can expect that. But the ball is really in these guys' hands. Like when Zion has it, he's there to score. So don't expect 7 again from Zion. And rebounding wise, Ingram back, Jonas Valanciunas, Larry Nance is questionable. That could matter, but Valanciunas being in there, just a big time rebounder, gets a ton of them. So that hurts Zion's rebounding. And this matchup, like Zion, there's a lot of good the offensive players on the Chicago side, and Zion's actually benched for defensive reasons. He's been bad, lack of effort, things like that, and he's actually lost playing time. So there's obviously, we can't be assuming that he's going to not play full minutes, but that's just kind of an additional thing that we can add in. The last time we took this one, 11.5 under, he was going to hit, but then the game went to overtime, so there's nothing that we can do about that. He actually only got 1 rebound assist in overtime, and then he got benched. So very unfortunate that time, but gonna go with it again here. Ingram, CJ, they're gonna be healthy based on what we know before the game tips off. We're a ways away, but 11.5, gonna go with the under for him. And then the next prop, we are going to go to NBA first half with the fantasy score section. Portland, Yusuf Nurkic, 17.5, taking the over. So this number, it might seem a little high, and I agree, but Nurkic is a very good defensive stats guy in terms of centers, especially getting steals. So that's going to suit, obviously, on this type of PrizePicks scoring. It is FanDuel scoring, so +3 for every steal or block. So for Nurkic, he's going to be getting a ton of boards, and with Lillard and Anthony Simons both back, that's going to help him in the pick and roll game. He's going to probably get a lot of layups, easy dunks around the basket. Mason Plumlee, not a good defensive player. This entire Charlotte team just is not good defensively. And Charlotte, they do play fast. Sorry, they're playing at home, so this game should be close. It's only a 4.5 spread with the Blazers favored. And Nurkic, his playing time is a little bit concerning, but that's more of a second half issue. That's why I'm taking first half only, because Portland, they've really not played him a ton in the second half. His minutes are kind of low, but in the first half, it's been better, kind of more where we're accustomed to seeing him. So that's why I'm going with just the first half. Looking at DVP for Nurkic against centers, sorted by fantasy points allowed, Charlotte giving up the second most. Like, so many of this stuff is green, and that's really all you need to know. Remember Steven Adams a few nights ago? Like, Nurkic, he's a better player than Steven Adams. And 17.5 against Charlotte, this is just hopefully he stays out of foul trouble, because that is one issue that Nurkic does have. Doesn't get hurt like that. He should be able to hit this over. So I do like it. Remember, this is a first half line compared to the other ones where they are full game. Now, going back to full game, now for the fourth prop, this one, I have to just put it more of a lean, because on underdog, it is a better line to take. That's Miles Turner, 24.5 less. Underdog has a 25.5, so obviously, if you play on that site, go with the under over there. That's what's going to make this a lean. For Miles Turner, 24.5, he's coming out of a monster game against the Pelicans. What do you know? And 24.5 for Miles Turner doesn't seem like it's really too high or too low, but remember, they're playing the Nuggets. He's going to have to guard Nikola Jokic, and there is a ton of foul risk here. This is StatMuse looking at what the head-to-head matchup has looked like for Miles Turner. I'm avoiding fantasy score because Turner is so good at getting blocks. So, the blocks +3, +6, you get 3 +9. Turnovers, sure, but Turner, he's not a good rebounder for a center. He's going to need to hit shots. He's kind of more perimeter based, and that's going to mean he's going to be more dependent on his jump shots and just a ton of foul trouble. Something that's interesting to note if you look at the head-to-head against Jokic, every time he's playing at home, somehow he actually has been decent, and in a way, he's been poor. This game is in Indiana, so obviously that's not the best, but I mean, Jokic having to defend him, like, that's a nightmare for any player. Miles Turner, as good of a defender he is, he does get in foul trouble a ton. He averages 3.7 fouls a game against Jokic in 11 games in their careers. So just, I don't think Miles Turner is going to be able to get these type of rebounding numbers. Jalen Smith, he's a very good rebounder. Buddy Hield's been rebounding pretty well. Even Tyrese Halliburton has upped his rebounding numbers. So not saying that they're going to sustain those numbers, but Miles Turner, he is not a big-time rebounder. That's why Domantas Sabonis, he is a good rebounder, but that's why Sabonis was always getting a ton of rebounds, out-rebounding Turner pretty much every game when they were still teammates in the front court. So Turner, if he's going to have to depend on his jump shot, not going to be able to battle down low with Jokic on both ends of the court, this seems like kind of maybe a little bit too high, actually, because of what he did last game. Again, 50, is he going to really score 37 real points again, grab double-digit rebounds? Just very unlikely, and he's not an assist guy at all. Maybe he gets one, and because of that, the matchup, foul concerns as well, I just lean towards the under. Again, a lean, better play on underdog. So that is going to be the 4 plays. DeRozan, absolutely love this one. Over 22.5, Zion under 11.5, Nurk over 17.5 fantasy score, Turner under 24.5 PRA. So those are going to be the 4 picks for November 9th on this Wednesday NBA slate. And I would say, because the NBA is going to be back playing every day, probably not going to be able to get a video out because we're just not going to have enough props to make a video. But that's it for this one. NFL coming this weekend. So go look on this NBA slate for PrizePicks, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.